to the 13th Hayley-Roxanna Crafts quick cross stitch video, where I share information, hints and tips on one area of cross stitch in a short video. In this video, I am focusing on how to do half stitches on both Aida and Evenweave fabric. Half stitches tend to be used in cross stitch designs to add shading and are often used for the background, particularly skies, such as in this cross stitch that I completed a little while ago. It is one that needs washing, ironing, but it does show you the half stitches that I have used for the sky. On charts, half stitches are often shown in the same way as full stitches, but with a note in the key to say half stitches should be used where this particular symbol is. The number of strands of thread used to stitch half stitches can vary. Sometimes 2 strands are used, like with most full cross stitches, but other times 1 strand may be used, like with most back stitching. Again, this is something to check in the instructions before you actually start stitching. Half stitches are literally half of your full cross stitch. And they should be stitched in the same direction, unless you are going for a particular effect. But the direction you choose is often down to personal preference. You can stitch in the same direction as the bottom half of your full cross stitches, or you can stitch them in the same direction as the top half of your full cross stitches. So I do my full cross stitches like this. So I will go from bottom left to top right for the bottom half, and then bottom right to top left for my top half. So if I was to stitch half stitches in the same direction as the bottom of my full crosses, I would do them like so. So they would all go bottom left of the square to top right hole of the square. However, if I wanted to do my half stitches the same direction as the top half of my full cross stitches, then I would be doing them from the bottom right hole of the square to the top left hole. Like so. Like I said, either way is correct. It's just down to your personal preference and the effect you are going for. If you are stitching over 2 on Evenweave fabric, then the half stitches also need to be stitched over 2. Again, the direction of your stitches is down to personal preference. If I was stitching the same way as I do the bottom half of my full cross stitches, then I would be stitching like so. I'd be coming up in the bottom left corner of my squares, skipping over the middle hole and going down in the top right hole, and then just repeating that for however many half stitches I need. However, if I wanted to stitch them in the same direction as I do the top half of my full cross stitches, I would be coming up through the bottom right hole of my squares, skipping the middle and going down into the top left hole, like so. Again, either way would be absolutely fine, just depending on how you want them. As you can see in this finished cross stitch, I do tend to do my half stitches in the same direction as the bottom half of my cross stitches. And I often leave my half stitches until I have completed all of the full stitches in a design, just so that I don't get confused and accidentally cross them, making them into full stitches. However, I do complete them before I do any back stitching or French knots that might be in the design. If you have any questions about half stitches, please pop them in the comments. In next week's video, I will demonstrate horizontal half stitches on Aida fabric.